Welcome to a design.com tutorial. In this tutorial series we're going to learn how to integrate bbPress and Wordpress. In the first part of this tutorial we're going to learn how to install Wordpress. The version I have is 2.8.2. If you want to download it, you can go to wordpress.org/download. At this point in time, as you can see, the version is 2.8.2. It's best to have the latest version so you have minimal bugs and security flaws. Now you can use an FTP program like FileZilla as seen here, and you can put in your FTP credentials, username, password and host. That's if you have a web server. If you just want to set it up on your own computer to test or just to try it out, you can download WAMP. Now WAMP is a virtual server on your computer and it's free. WAMP is only for Windows though. As you can see, I just googled WAMP and here it is. If you want the WAMP program on a Mac, it's actually called MAMP, as in M-A-M-P. If you want it for Linux, it's called LAMP, and a couple other operating systems has a similar name. Anyway, once you install this, it's a standard install. It takes around 5 minutes. The default installation is in the C drive and in the WAMP folder. Now you want to put, once you've downloaded WordPress, I have mine on the desktop. Simply extract it. And you want to open it up, and open up again, and just Control A, copy. Shortcuts for that is hold down the Control key A and Control key C. That should do it for you. And go to the WAMP folder, click on the www folder. That's where you put everything. As you can see, I've pre-copied it, and I've actually copied the wrong folder. I'll just copy over the new installation. We'll call this site prac, and just paste all those files. To do that, hold down Control key and V. The WordPress software isn't very big. Okay, now open up. We should have a WAMP server running by now, and in the corner on the icon taskbar you'll find this icon. It looks like a half circle, and just right click it or single click and you should get this little menu. Localhost is where you want to be, but we're going to go into PHP my admin first, as we have to set up the database. WordPress operates off a MySQL database. I think there's another version of WordPress that uses text files, but I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Now, we're going to make a new database. I'm going to call it site_prac, and we'll just leave it as the default settings. As you can see, it's already been done. And then if I refresh the page by going back to the home, it's got site_prac, and that's where all the WordPress data tables are going to be. At the moment, it's got nothing. Okay, if we just go to localhost, you could go to the icon and press this, but it's just quicker to go this way. And I forgot to mention, but this index.php file, do not delete it, because this is what it is. It's basically a manager. You can go to php.yam in here or your projects. We'll go to site_prac, and you'll be confronted with this screen, basically it needs to get the database info from you. Doesn't really take that long. We'll call it site_prac. It's best to name your databases and make them relevant to each individual site. Usually I do this, since it's WordPress, I'd go blog, and then on the end, go DB for database, because sometimes shared servers, the name will already be taken. This way you can have a clear-cut naming system. The username will be root, since it's a standard install of WAMP, and the username will be root, and there will be no password. On your shared server you will have to have a password and a username. It's best to create a password that you use for nothing else, because you can just go grab it anytime, and you won't have to retype the password in. It's only once. The database host will be localhost. If you're on a shared server, you might have to put in something like mysql.domainname.com or something. I know with Dreamhost hosting you have to put mysql dot and then put in your domain name. The table prefix, you can change that, but just leave it as wp underscore, because we'll be installing bbPress, which I think is bb underscore, so you better keep them separate. And submit. We changed the database name. Alright, it's done. Now run the install. Blog title, we'll just call it example blog. And my email will be, it's going to send me something. Design.com. Now we don't want it to appear, well it won't anyway, because it won't be a live blog. If it wasn't a shared server, you might want to click that. Depends how much traffic you want. If it's a private blog, you probably don't want to. Anyway, install. It's just going to write data to the tables. Now you got the password. Copy. All the usernames for each WordPress install is admin. It's actually recommended you change the username from admin to something else, because it makes it easier for people to do brute force or dictionary hack attacks on your WordPress install. Just quickly change this, call it password. It's a very bad password, but I'm going to be the only one accessing it. And that's basically it. If we go to example blog, it's got the default theme, Kubrick. If you want to change the theme, go into your root folder. In this case, mine is SitePrac. Go to wp-content, and you got two folders. Plugins, that's where you put your plugins. As you can see, it's preloaded with Akismet. That's to get spam out of your comments. It's actually a very good plugin developed by the creator of WordPress. Themes, the classic theme, which is horrible in my opinion, and the default theme, which is alright for a default theme. The CSS and HTML is pretty bad, but once you create your own theme, you should clean all that out. So drop your new themes into here, and these two folders, wp-admin and wp-includes, you shouldn't have to touch unless you're doing some core hacks. However, keep in mind, if you upgrade, you will lose those hacks and you'll have to do them again. There's the readme and the license, and that's about it for WordPress. Thanks for watching and enjoy your new blog.